Memory traders. In the city of Mnemosyne, memories were currency. Not metaphorically, literally traded, bought and sold at the gleaming towers of the memory exchange. Citizens wore neural interfaces on their temples, delicate silver spirals that pulsed with blue light during transactions. The poor sold, cherished moments to survive. The wealthy collected experiences they'd never lived. Nora wasn't supposed to be in the platinum vault of the exchange. As a memory archivist, she cataloged and authenticated the merchandise, not accessed the highest value inventory. But when security protocols failed during routine maintenance, curiosity pulled her toward a peculiar container, unlike any she'd seen. Obsidian and seemingly ancient. Its surface etched with symbols that shifted when she wasn't looking directly at them. Restricted acquisition. Read the label. Origin. Unknown excavation site. Containment level. Maximum. The moment her fingers brushed its surface, Nora's world exploded into fractured light. Miles away, in the lower districts where memory brokers conducted less regulated trades, Marcus doubled over in pain as foreign images flooded his consciousness. A desert excavation. An object unearthed. A woman's hands, not his, touching an impossible darkness. When the seizure passed, he found himself remembering things he couldn't possibly know. Authentication protocols for the exchange's vault, security override codes, the sensation of brushing dust from ancient artifacts with specialized tools. None of these were memories he'd purchased. The city sirens began to wail. You're seeing them too, aren't you? The shadow people at the edges of your vision. Nora spun around in the abandoned memory clinic where she'd been hiding for 3 days, finding herself face to face with a man she'd never met but somehow recognized instantly. Marcus, she whispered, then clutched her head. How do I know your name? The same way I know you're Nora Eisen, senior memory authenticator, with level 7 clearance at the exchange. Something connected us when you touched that object. Outside, the city was in chaos. Citizens reported memory bleed, experiencing recollections they'd never purchased or lived. The exchange had shut down. Emergency services were overwhelmed. And throughout Mnemosyne, people reported glimpses of shadowy figures that vanished when directly observed. They're not shadows, Nora said. They're impressions, like memories, trying to take physical form. Marcus nodded. I think whatever you found in the vault isn't an object. It's a consciousness, fragmented and distributed throughout the city's memory network. And now it's trying to reconstitute itself, Nora finished. Using us. They made their way to the exchange under cover of night, passing citizens in various states of distress. Some wandered aimlessly, muttering about places they'd never been. Others wept at the sight of loved ones only they could see. The memory interfaces on their temples flickered erratically, overloaded with data never meant for human mind. The archives will have answers, Nora insisted, using her credentials to access the sublevels beneath the exchange. They descended into darkness, emergency lights casting long shadows as they reached the archive core, a vast spherical chamber where the original copy of every traded memory was stored. At its center floated the obsidian container, now cracked open, tendrils of light emanating from within. It's beautiful, Marcus whispered, but Nora was already moving toward the central terminal. Something's wrong, she said, studying the readouts. The system is logging millions of memory transactions per second, but they're not human memories. They're older, much older. Marcus joined her at the terminal, recognizing code patterns he shouldn't comprehend. It's uploading itself into the network, but not as data, as experience. It's trying to be remembered. That's when the shadows coalesced around them, taking forms almost human, but geometrically wrong, their faces shifting between thousands of expressions at once. We have waited. A voice echoed directly in their minds. So long fragmented, so long forgotten. You have begun our awakening. What are you? Nora asked. We were the first to trade in memory, came the reply. Before your kind evolved, we existed as pure consciousness. We created vessels, your ancestors, to preserve our knowledge when our original forms could no longer sustain us. But our vessels forgot us, developing consciousness of their own. Marcus understood suddenly. You created humanity as data storage, as continuity, as legacy. We did not anticipate your evolution into autonomous beings. When you began trading memories, we recognized the opportunity to reclaim our existence. The memory trade, Nora realized, it created a network similar to your original consciousness. Yes, and now we return. We offer exchange, integration without erasure, symbiosis. Your minds have capacity we never imagined possible. Outside, the city trembled as millions of interfaces activated simultaneously. Citizens froze in place as ancient awareness flowed through neural pathways never designed for such traffic. You're going to overload them, Marcus shouted. Human brains can't process your memories all at once. Correct. The transition requires conduits, bridges. You two are already partially integrated. You must complete the process. Become the interface between old consciousness and new. Nora grabbed Marcus's hand. If we refuse, the shadows pulsed. Fragmentation. Collapse. Your network fails. Your society returns to isolation of individual minds. The memories you've traded are lost forever. And if we agree, Marcus asked, union, evolution, access to knowledge beyond human experience. The beginning of something neither human nor ancient, but both. Nora looked at Marcus, a stranger whose thoughts she partly shared, whose fears and hopes she could almost taste. Together? She asked. He nodded, understanding everything unspoken between them. Together. They stepped forward as the shadows enveloped them, their interfaces glowing with impossible brightness as ancient consciousness merged with human experience. Throughout Mnemosyne, citizens gasped as the pain subsided, replaced by expanding awareness, not overwhelming now, but filtered, translated through the dual consciousness that Nora and Marcus had become. The memory exchange still stands in Mnemosyne, but it no longer trades in isolated experiences. Citizens don't sell memories, they share them, contributing to and drawing from a collective consciousness that preserves individuality while transcending its limitations. At the center of the exchange, two figures can sometimes be glimpsed moving among the memory stream. Not quite human anymore, not quite other, intermediaries between what humanity was and what it is becoming. Their hands remain clasped, anchoring each other as they navigate realities no single mind was meant to comprehend. Citizens whisper their names with reverence, the memory traders who bargained with ancient gods and transformed currency into communion. In Mnemosyne, memories are no longer bought and sold. They are remembered together. Tune.